Aglorev Magazine Live is brought to you by
Varolga Leilani's Energy Exchange. Express yourself without saying a word.
and
Aglorev Entertainment. Mind, body, soul, energy healing.
Welcome back to Aglorev Magazine Live, your reliable source for assistance with navigating the 3D. I hope you've been following along each week and have done the work, because right now is a critical time of endings, beginnings, and unexpected changes. But don't worry, I have astrological guidance for you. Are you the jealous type? Do you have issues with your current partner maintaining relationships with an ex or exes? Live insight for you. D4PD has cancelled his tour dates in cooperation with the LAPD after the remains of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez are found in the Tesla registered to the singer. The United States government has shut down. Will you be affected? Big Brother has a winner. Love Island Games gets brutal and shows it's not about love, but the games. And new seasons of The Golden Bachelor, Survivor, Dancing with the Stars, and Amazing Race Big Brother edition have commenced. And I have insight for you. And then another action-packed movie recommendation followed by some drinks. So tuck in, take notes, and tune in each week to stay informed and prepared. I am here for you. If you need further assistance or personalized attention, contact me through my site. After a very long and transformative journey through Scorpio, on October 1st, Juno, the asteroid of love, commitment, devotion, and soulmates, is going to enter Sagittarius and stay there until December 29th. We just spent April of this year through October 1st working through our issues of fear of abandonment, jealousy, paranoia, or even trust and intimacy. Because Juno in Scorpio was retrograde from April to July, and then direct from July to October 1st. During that time, we were unraveling tumultuous emotions and transforming parts of ourselves that needed it, so that we could feel improved when it comes to who and what we are committed and devoted to. And now that we've confronted the depths of our emotions and devotions, Juno in Sagittarius now gives a renewed sense of clarity and breath of fresh air towards possibility, potential, and freedom in our relationships. Love under Juno in Sagittarius requires independence, excitement, and a shared vision for the future, meaning that relationships that feel stagnant are going to struggle between October 1st to December 29th. Although relationships built on a shared vision for the future, excitement, adventure, travel, and intellectual stimulation and banter flourish during this time. Juno in Sagittarius reminds us that love can be playful, adventurous, flirty, fun, and exhilarating. The energy puts the focus on our partnerships, connections, and relationships as an adventure or journey for growth. And if you are over dating or not in a relationship, and you don't see how this energy is going to show up in a romantic way, know that Juno still represents commitment and devotion, meaning that Juno in Sagittarius is encouraging us to commit to something that we really want to see flourish, thrive, or feel inspired by. We're not committing to it out of fear or obligation. We're doing it because we're excited about where this journey will take us. So look to the house that Sagittarius is in for you. This is the area of your life that you will be spending the autumn being fully committed and devoted towards improving. And then there's Uranus, the planet of anything unexpected, unforeseen, or unpredictable. It's supposed to help us become more flexible, adaptive, innovate, and rebel. And it's all about altering the course of our future. It's usually decent fun. However, certain Uranus transits can be rough. Uranus in Taurus is an example, because Uranus is fallen in Taurus. It's uncomfortable, confused, doesn't want to be there. Uranus in Gemini is more favourable, and I prefer Uranus in Gemini. However, any aspect with Uranus will bring something that's unexpected. The Sun in Libra is forming a harmonious trine to Gemini, a supportive energy to Uranus retrograde in Gemini. So we're being encouraged to get out, think outside of the box, adopt new paradigms, try new things, experiment with different pleasures or moments of peace. For example, try a new massage place or a different form of therapy. Take a holiday. Just do something new that gets you out of your comfort zone and leads to new information, new perspectives, and gives you the peace and balance of Libra. However, keep in mind, it's still Uranus, and it's retrograde in Gemini. So, unexpected conversations, information, or news we were not expecting or wanting are also prone to pop up during this time. For example, if your Gemini is in your 7th or 5th house, this could be a romantic relationship, or a passion project, or a contract or agreement that you're working on right now that suddenly is not favourable to you. So stay aware. Also, if you have Gemini in the 10th house, or Jupiter in Gemini, or your Sun in Gemini, doors are opening for you. New opportunities are being presented to you, and I would recommend taking them. This is a period for us to reevaluate where we have played our lives a little too safe, either in relationships, professions, or even our own self-image. We want to feel alive again, so go after it. Because if you've been feeling restless and indecisive, or just stuck in wanting to do something new, this alignment is giving you courage and adaptability to go for it. Libra is the sign of the scales, the sign of indecision, wanting to weigh every option before making a move. But Libra is still a cardinal sign. She loves to initiate change. So does Uranus in Gemini. Gemini is the flexibility, adaptability, and curiosities, following our interests, whilst Uranus is the planet of anything unexpected or unforeseen, teaching us, shaking up our routines and trying something new. So the Sun in Libra is forming a harmonious trine, supporting Uranus retrograde in Gemini's movements of change. So, the Libra area of your birth chart is giving you clarity, courage, bravery, or needed information for you to find peace, calm, or stress-free movement right now towards the Gemini area of your chart, where you're wanting to try and do something new, shake things up, and make them more harmonious. Embrace change. The Sun in Libra trine Uranus retrograde in Gemini is encouraging us to embrace change with grace and a sense of calm. This year has prepared us for so much change, especially unexpected change, and this is positive change. If you are able to identify how this alignment is affecting you directly, I can help you with that. Right now is for taking bold, calm, stress-free steps towards new kinds of relationships, new kinds of connections, new kinds of communities, new kinds of experiences and information. Follow your curiosity. And if you want help understanding how all of this affects you directly, contact me through my site. Dealing with exes can be difficult, especially if they are your partners. If you're struggling to cope with your partner's friendship with an ex, talk to your partner about it. Let them know how you feel and discuss any boundaries you wish to have. If you're feeling jealous, recognize that jealousy may not reflect what's going on with your partner, and may more accurately reflect your own insecurity. Avoid comparing yourself with their ex and ask yourself and your partner important questions about the relationship. Bringing up the discussion is never easy. It's a difficult conversation, especially if it has to do with your partner's ex. Be curious and ask questions instead of making accusations. This allows your partner to speak and be heard without making assumptions. Be careful not to cast blame or on your partner. Instead, frame things from your perspective or on how you feel. For example, use I statements instead of blaming your partner. For example, say, I feel uncomfortable when you are secretively on your phone, and I suspect it's because you're talking to your ex. If there's something I should know, please tell me. This is much less aggressive than saying, why do you act so secretively around your ex? In healthy relationships, based on trust and respect, honest communication is key. Talk about trust. Say how you feel your partner's relationship with their ex affects you, your trust. Is your partner deserving of your trust? Or do you feel like they may be trying to hide something? Recognizing the difference between being suspicious of your partner's actions and feeling insecure. Tell them you want to trust the relationship and you need to talk about it. For example, say, I want to trust you, but the way you relate to your ex makes me feel unsure. Can you tell me how you feel about trust in our relationship? If you've been hurt in the past, recognize that your partner is not to blame for the hurt you've experienced. If you don't trust your partner, ask yourself, why? Staying friends with an ex isn't always a problem, but there should be clear boundaries, and their friendship should never infringe on your relationship in any way. Tell your partner about your needs. Talk to your partner about your experiences and why you're having problems with jealousy. If you're uncomfortable with the level of contact that your partner has with an ex, say so. It may be time to set some boundaries. If you feel like you're not getting enough of their attention, say so. If you've had a cheating partner in the past, tell your partner how that made you feel. Say, it's hard for me to see you have a friendship with your ex. My trust has been broken before. So seeing you be friendly with your ex makes me feel insecure. Your partner's ex shouldn't use the friendship as an emotional outlet or as a way to make you feel jealous. Nor should they attempt to keep their conversations secret. Ask yourself if you're being respected. If your partner's relationship with their ex bothers you, say something. If your partner is attentive to your needs and respects any boundaries you agree upon, brilliant. If your partner agrees, then ends up continually talking to their ex, this may be a problem. If you feel like your partner is giving more attention and respect to the ex over you, then be careful in moving forward. Talk to your partner about your feelings of respect. Say, I know you want to be friends with your ex, but it bothers me that you text them every day. Is it possible to have less contact with them? Trust your gut. If something feels off, speak up quickly and directly. Deal with your feelings of jealousy. Jealousy has everything to do with you, not your partner. If you're feeling jealous, recognize that it's okay to feel that way and that everyone feels jealous at one time or another. Yet, unhealthy jealousy occurs when you act on your feelings. For example, snooping on your partner's texts, emails, or computer. If you're feeling jealous, say something to your partner. Ask yourself, what motivates these feelings? Is your partner actually acting suspicious? Or are you sensitive because you've been hurt before? If your partner is being secretive or telling half-truths, say something. For example, you can say, I see when you turn your phone over and take calls from your ex outside, and it makes me feel suspicious, like you're hiding something. This is making me feel jealous. Think about your long-term plans. If your partner wants to remain friends with the ex, think about how that might affect you long-term. Will you be okay in the future with their relationship? Or will you continue to feel angry or jealous? If you want a future with your partner, you may need to come to terms with their relationship. Accept that they are friends and trust your partner when they say they want to be with you. Remember that your partner is with you. If your partner says their previous relationship is over, it's up to you to trust them and know that they want to be with you. Consider your partner's variables. It's difficult to generalize all relationships with exes. Some relationships with an ex may be healthy, whilst others are not. Think about your partner's personality. Are they the flirty or secretive type? Or are they someone who just likes to get along with people? Does your partner maintain friendships with several exes, or just one in particular? Consider the personal variables regarding your partner and think about their effects on you. If your partner has friendships with multiple exes, they may want to keep peace and enjoy friendships. However, if they single out one person and make frequent contact, this may alarm you more. And avoid comparing yourself to the ex. If you feel threatened or jealous of your partner's ex, don't start comparing yourself to them. There will always be someone more educated, funnier, attractive, or witty. Comparing yourself to someone else is mental, so skip it altogether. Don't think about how this relationship could have been, or what makes the ex better than you. Instead, avoid it. Comparing yourself to others can affect your self-esteem and feelings of worth. You can always find something you like that you think is better about someone else than yourself. So don't go looking. Accept your partner's dating past. Most people have dating history and have kissed or liked others before they have liked you. Often people learn and grow from their past and become better people. Accept that your partner has a past without holding it against them, especially if your partner is on good terms with their ex. Acknowledge that your partner ended relationships on good terms and values their relationship. Make an invitation. If your partner's ex is a part of their life, then consider making them a part of yours too, especially if their ex has been in their life a while as a platonic friend. Resist the urge to fight back. Instead, ask the ex if they'd like to join you for dinner one night or for a game night. This shows the ex that you're willing to make an effort. If you know your partner highly values their friendship with the ex, consider making a move to get to know them too. Participate in couples counselling. Depending on where you are in your relationship, it may be beneficial to see a couples therapist or coach. Relationships require work and effort to maintain. Even the healthiest of relationships may face challenges, especially if there are concerns with one's partner's friendships with the ex. Attending therapy sessions can help to make any concerns you may encounter manageable, decrease tension, build trust and acceptance, and assist with developing good relationship habits and coping skills. If both partners are willing to participate in couples counselling, be aware that it will definitely be a positive support for the health and longevity of your relationship. Acknowledge if there are kids with the ex they will likely want to keep the peace. Recognize that your partner and the ex are raising a child or children, and it's in the best interest for the parents to get along. Whilst these kinds of relationships can invite jealousy, remind yourself that your partner being friends with their ex is what's best for the child or children. If you've encountered any of these struggles and would like assistance sorting through them, contact me through my site. 3 weeks after the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was discovered in the front boot of a Tesla registered to singer David, or D4VD, her death certificate has been released, stating that the teen was not pregnant, nor had she been pregnant in the last year. The document was obtained by the TMZ. The report also said an autopsy was performed on Celeste's body prior to it being released to her family on September 23rd, and that the medical examiner is awaiting toxicology results. The certificate listed the manner of death as deferred, whilst the LA County medical examiner and the LAPD tried to establish how she was unalived. LAPD Captain Scott Williams told TMZ that investigators are trying to determine if she was a victim of foul play or other causes. E! News has reached out to the LAPD but has not heard back. Authorities had previously told the Los Angeles Times that they were working to establish a connection between Celeste and D4VD, and that the case was being investigated by robbery homicide detectives with the LAPD. The romantic homicide singer has yet to comment publicly on the case. However, a spokesperson for D4VD, real name David Anthony Burke, has previously told NBC News that he was fully cooperating with the authorities. The 20-year-old has been on tour to promote his Withered album when Celeste was discovered, and has since cancelled the remainder of his tour dates, with no concerts currently listed on his website. Celeste was found on September 8th at a Hollywood impound yard after police were called in to check the Tesla due to a foul odor coming from the vehicle. The body was later identified as the teen who had been reported missing on April 5th, 2024, from Lake Elsinore, California, which is located 76 miles away from where the car was found. The Tesla had been parked near a home in the Hollywood Hills, which law enforcement sources told ABC News that D4VD had been renting prior to the start of his Withered World Tour at the start of the summer. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the property, according to the LA Times, with law enforcement sources with knowledge of the case telling the outlet that they had recovered various items from the home, including electronics and computers. David was born in Queens, New York, real name David Anthony Burke, and moved to Houston, Texas when he was 13 years old. David first began his career as a streamer of Fortnite and other games, in an attempt to go viral on YouTube when he ran into copyright infringement challenges with the music he was adding to the videos in 2021. He turned to his mother. "I'm like crying to Mum about it," he told Benny Blanco during an interview for Hero magazine in September 2024. "I'm like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm not making any money anymore, blah, blah, blah." And she was on the phone and she was like, "Just make your own music. Go, get out of my face." And I was like, wait a minute, I could probably do that. From there, despite not having any musical experience other than singing for fun, D4VD downloaded an app on his phone and started making music. Soon, some of his songs went viral, and after more of his original music started to go viral on TikTok, his career began to really take off. Then the 20-year-old eventually released his debut album in April 2025, embarking on his first world tour shortly thereafter. On September 8th, the Los Angeles Police Department was called to a tow yard in Hollywood over a report of a foul odor coming from a vehicle. Law enforcement sources told NBC News the LAPD found human remains wrapped in a bag hidden in the front boot of a Tesla truck, which was registered in Hempstead, Texas, under D4VD's real name, David Anthony Burke. Police said the vehicle had been towed to the impound lot after it was abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Office, September 16th, said the remains found in the Tesla were identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had been reported missing on April 5th, 2024. She was 13 years old at the time of her disappearance. Her cause of death has been deferred, according to records from the Medical Examiner's Office, viewed by E! News on September 17th. The date of death was listed as September 8th, the day her body was discovered. Officials noted her body appeared to have been in the car for an extended period of time before its discovery and was severely decomposed. Following the discovery of Celeste's body, a spokesperson for David said in a statement to NBC News that the singer has been informed about what's happening, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Since then, D4VD cancelled the remainder of his US tour dates. No suspects have been named, nor have arrests been made. What will we see now that there's a US government shutdown? The short answer is, we don't know for sure, but we can build a picture based on previous federal shutdowns. What generally happens is that government workers who are deemed non-essential are put on temporary, unpaid leave, and normally paid later. This could affect services, including federally funded preschools, the Student Loans Department, programs to help low-income families get food, national parks and museums could shut down, and approval of new benefit payments may stop. Government services often get funding from different sources, so closures may be staggered. In the past, some vital services have not come to a halt and are expected to continue. Medical care in hospitals, border protection, law enforcement, and air traffic control are expected to carry on, with employees being paid later. Active duty military members generally keep working, and Social Security and disability payments would still be sent out. ICE operations are likely to be deemed essential by the president, given his crackdown on illegal immigration, a big priority in his second term. The Trump administration, initially with Elon Musk at the forefront, has spent the last 9 months drastically cutting parts of the national government. And the White House has suggested it could use this shutdown to cut many more jobs permanently. Government shutdowns happen. There have been quite a few over the past 50 years. Most were only a matter of days, although in 1995, under President Clinton, it went on for 21 days. In 2013, under President Obama, 16 days. And in December 2018, during Trump's first term, was the longest shutdown so far, lasting 35 days. So how long could this shutdown last? We simply don't know. The Republicans and Democrats seem miles apart, and the disagreements are increasingly bitter. All Americans will feel some impact because, whether they realize it or not, there are certain government services and government activities that are affecting your day-to-day lives. The last shutdown ended after long queues at airports caused by air traffic controllers and security staff phoning in sick became a symbol of a country paralysed. A similar impact, this time, will increase pressure to do a deal. Federal employees are expected to be hardest hit, as they will not receive any paycheck whilst the shutdown continues. Some workers may choose to take second jobs, as they have during previous shutdowns. Employees that are not deemed to be essential will be forced to stay home. In the past, these workers have been paid retrospectively. Several agencies like the Centre for Disease Control and Prevention and the National Institute of Health are likely to furlough many workers, affecting ongoing research and experiments already in progress. President Donald Trump, who has slashed government spending and cut federal jobs since taking office, warned repeatedly that the shutdown could accelerate further layoffs and allow him to cut services and programs he says that are important to Democrats. Contractors who work for federal agencies but are not directly employed by the government will miss out on work too. These workers, historically, have not received any back pay, according to the committees for a responsible federal budget. Now is a perfect time to focus on what your true purpose is. The energies are promoting new beginnings. If you would like some clarity over your path and situations, contact me through my site. Okay, this week, Love Island Games, there is so much to unpack, so much has happened in just a week. First, let's start with the first dumping of Mert and Solin. To be quite honest, I am kind of glad that Mert was dumped because he was giving no effort and he brought her to a picnic with no food. He put down a blanket and some stand that he didn't even do. It was Kendall's idea. He took complete credit for it. For doing what exactly? Low effort. Low effort. He thinks because of that veneer smile that he can just look good and expect her to fancy him. No. So I'm glad he's out of there because Lucinda deserves better. So, Matt, you're not attractive enough for that low of effort. So, yes, you won your season. I haven't seen your season. Hopefully you put in a little bit more effort there. So, please recognise effort and just lazy effort. There's a difference. Be picky. Now, he also was stumped with Solin. Don't have much to say on her. She didn't really have much of a start in there. I think it was not a smart idea to pick someone just because they wouldn't look at you. A lot of girls go for the chase, and you have to understand that is not necessarily a good tactic. Sometimes it is better to be chased, to know that someone is interested instead of forcing it. Forcing sometimes always leads to resentment in some way or another. So be careful if you are forcing something, whether it be an ultimatum, whether it be, just be careful about forcing things on all levels. Then the next to go out was Chris and KK. And to be honest, I am actually very grateful for that dumping as well, because Chris now can be his true self, go back to the gym where we know what happens there. And KK, please don't expect a relationship, because you have to recognise that he is DL. And even on the After Sun, he's like, well, as a man, I didn't want to give up. You don't say he's playing straight. He's playing what he thinks a macho straight man is. Even in his intro, that looks like homosexual porn. I'm sorry. There is nothing wrong with being fluid, with being bi, however you wanted to define it, but if you don't like women, but you're pretending to like women and putting them at risk, that's DL, and that is when I have an issue, and that is basically the embodiment of what Chris is. He does it for gain. It is not who he truly is, and it's very evident. Even when Solin came in and they could kiss everyone, he kissed with his arms at his side, his eyes closed, like somebody who was being fed poison. Like, how can anyone not see? But everyone thinks he's a good lad because he doesn't pressure. No, in his season of Love Island, he claimed that Huda S ate him. The reality is he just doesn't like women, and any sort of attention he's going to spin it to his narrative. So when KK kissed Tariq, he now could play that he was hurt, and then he could limit the physical contact. He said, I'm here for the game, and then he would talk to her about what they did in the challenge as if he was reading a book about a romance novel so that she would feel something about it. That only works on text. When you're right in front of them, you have to do the action. That's why she was like, he's chatting about kisses, but he's not kissing me. He's not straight. He's not even bi. He doesn't like women. He's DL. So I'm glad he went out. And because of his cockiness, I'm actually glad that it was the smallest one, Johnny, that sent him out on his broken finger. His finger, he had a little dinky splint on that. He got out because he knew he got wrecked. Go Johnny. Okay, in spite of all the bad things Johnny does to the women, you have to admit this is not Love Island. It's Love Island Games. Love Island Games means we got the contestants from Love Island, but it's a game, and that's why a lot of people are getting their feelings hurt. If you go in there and you make a connection, even better. But you have to go in there knowing what the focus is, and that's the problem. The focus. People do not have the proper focus, and that's where they get lost. Johnny, he's not the nicest lad in there, but he has focus, and he does not let that focus waver. Take a note from him, because that is how men are, and that is why a lot of them, they are successful. And when women do that, they are called, those bad names and all that, but that is kind of how you have to be singularly focused on something to be able to attain it. And no matter what you say, Johnny is doing, in my opinion, very well. And the fact that he picked Gabby over Adriana, even though he says to her, we can still chat when we get out of this, and somehow I think if he wins, he will be able to sort that, because he is an attractive fella, and I've seen him even on the challenge. I'm a fan of his, and I know that his preference is for the darker women. So I know he's with Gabby for the games. He's playing the game. He's very good at it. But the great thing about Johnny is he likes women. He loves women. He just had a daughter, so hopefully that will let him see a little bit of the woman's side. But Johnny likes women. You can see it in the way he holds them, the way he touches them. Like on the first season when he was kissing Liberty, it was like they were under an imaginary waterfall or rain, and just the way it's very delicate. It's like a flower, and that's why women fall for him, because he knows how to touch them. He knows how to talk to them. He's very good. But it's also because he likes women. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, now let's get back to the people that were evicted. We won't really go, well, no, let's save the last one, because the last one I was very gutted over. But let's go back to some of the contestants. Now, I've said that I am a fan of Lucinda, and Lucinda is one of my favourites because I saw her on her season of Love Island UK and Australia, and now here. Now, that being said, I am a little bit disappointed in her in some aspects, because she's getting in between Gabby and Kendall unnecessarily. And the thing is, if you're a friend and you don't necessarily get on with the female interest of your friend, you don't always have to like them, but putting ideas in their head to taint their connection, that's for no real reason. The only reason you would do that is if you were trying to take him. So I'm not completely behind Lucinda for her trying to taint Garby and Kendall's connection. There was no real reason she had to do that, or make it so serious that he would question their relationship. I did not like that little bit of stirring. That hopefully that is not her character on all fronts, but I still like her. There's a bit of red flags, but yeah, that's why you have to be careful when you are dating a fellow who has a lot of female friends, because it can get catty, and then you have to question the motives, which is what we were talking about when your fella dates an ex in the previous segment. Now, we do have also Nicola, which has an incredibly pronounced Adam's apple. That's all I'm saying. A male cranium and a male shoulder to hip ratio. That's all I'm saying. No accusations, but there is a reason that a lot of fellas are not feeling that spark. However, Chris was like, there's something about Nicola. Wonder why? He probably saw that Adam's apple and wanted to take a bite. But anyway, I digress. Nicola is very awkward. She is also pantomiming what she thinks a woman would be like, which is why it's a bit awkward. So those were the two pantomimes. Chris pantomiming a straight male, Nicola pantomiming a female. And that's why they kind of attracted to each other, because on that frequency of pantomime, it kind of brought them together. That being said, I haven't seen Nicola's season either. I don't know if it's available. I don't know how that went down, if maybe there was a little bit more Riz on her season. I don't know. But Nicola is not exactly my favourite. Just a little bit awkward. There's no one I could see pairing or winning with Nicola, which we will get to in a minute. Now, the ones that are bothering me and are actually personifying one of my red flags of men is Tyreek and the Justine situation. Tyreek, I told you ladies, once you hurt a fellow, reject a fellow, do something negative to a fellow, even if he takes you back, always be on guard, because a lot of times they take 90% of the time, yes, 90, that high, 90% of the time, they take you back only so that they can even the score. And that is exactly what Tyreek is doing. And you're seeing it. And this is what is so wrong about the situation, because it is love games. It is not Love Island, we are there to make a match. If you do both, that's great. But these men are getting their egos involved. And here's the thing. Just because Justine kissed Tyreek, she never said she would recouple with him. She told Josh she would recouple with him. That's why Josh did her dirty, and I'm not too keen on him. But the thing is, Justine is being done dirty, and she is being treated like yesterday's news because everyone is jealous of her because she has won 2 seasons. Now, they are trying to humble her in a way, and it upsets me that they had that discussion. Joshua picked Andrea, and then Justine looks like a fool. Justine very well could have picked Tyreek, and she would have been fine with it, and everything would have been copacetic. But Joshua did her dirty, and I don't look at him the same. I hope he gets dumped soon, to be quite honest. I feel he deserves that because of the way he treated her. That was so disrespectful and so out of order. But anyway, Justine could have had a pure relationship with Tyreek, but unfortunately, she, on her honour, said she would stay with Joshua unless they had said something, and she kept her word. She has been playing this too honourable in a way, to be quite honest, and she feels it's off with Tyreek. So her intuition is not off, and she knows it. Now, Tyreek is saying, I'm going to wait until the very first chance, and I'm going to kick her to the curb. And as soon as the box comes, he does. Now he's trying to backpedal because he didn't get chosen. Johnny got chosen because Johnny's the number. Johnny is killing it this season. Johnny is my number 1 at this point. I do feel that he deserves it at this point. So hopefully the energies align for him to win. But anyway, Tyreek, he did not deserve to be bitter over the fact that she had picked Josh, because she never said to him that she would pick him. So the fact that he's holding that over her head, ladies, recognize when you don't do anything wrong. Sometimes a narcissist, and I know that word's thrown around a lot, but they will put it in a situation so that you feel that you are the guilty one. Justine did nothing wrong. She was actually being loyal to the partnership that she had. She never said anything to Tyreek. Yes, they snogged, but that does not mean anything, and everyone knows that. He is playing that and twisting it to his advantage to make her lower her value. It's another way of negging. It's making her question herself, doubt herself, and settle for him, because he's what's left. Now, watch that. And every chance he gets, he's going to continue to shame her and belittle her and she says, now it's even. But it was never, it's not even. She had nothing to make up for. He put that in her head. She did nothing wrong. Watch how that happens in your own life. Recognize the signs and know, and stick up for yourself. She's not sticking up for herself, and maybe she doesn't understand why she didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, she needs to be careful. Hopefully someone comes in that she can clear that energy, because she will get dropped if she stays with Tyreek. He will somehow ruin her. And be careful. In real life, that is exactly what happens. They will ruin you, ladies. They'll take you back just so they can ruin you. So be careful. Try to keep your relationships as pure as possible. Unless there are children, even if there are children, there really aren't strong reasons why you should force your life to be with a partner that is dangerous for you. So yes, Justine and Tyreek personify that. So it'll be interesting to see how that connection goes, because the game keeps throwing them back together. They have no other options. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if it goes far in spite of it, because of their alliances, or if he stabs her in the back, which he really wants to do, unfortunately. Then there comes to the worst part of it, and because Johnny picked Gabby, it put Adriana in jeopardy. So she ends up actually leaving as a result, as well as the French fella who came in with Sydney. The French fella did not have much time there, so there's not much to say on him. However, Adriana, I'm not sure I'm saying her name right, she needed to realise what show she was on, and that was the problem. She was there for a love connection. They were there to win money. She was a liability. She expected Johnny to carry her just for her looks. And in the real world, yes, granted, that can happen. But it's basically a job. You clock in. You're there to win money. If you have a connection, that's great. And that's why Johnny said, on the outside, let's reconnect. Because in here, you're weighing me down. Like, you have to be focused on the prize. You have to make those hard sacrifices. You have to understand that it's a job, it's business, it's nothing personal. And that is why Johnny, I feel, deserves to be successful and win this season. And we'll see. It also depends on his social game and politics, because if they gang up on him, yeah, that could be his downfall. But I believe last season, if I remember rightly, everyone loved him and they wanted him to win. But anyway, I digress. But the dumping that had me truly gutted was Kendall. Kendall versus Toby, and Kendall was fighting so hard, and the love story between Kendall and Garby and Ken, it just seemed so fitting, and they looked so great together. They were so adorable. Kendall was emotionally available. He was helping the other fellas be romantic with their girls. He was just sweet to her. Now granted, he did listen to Lucinda, and that was a little bit of a red flag, and you know, they moved past it. They worked out, and they were very mature about it. That cute little smile, his little cornrows, like I hope they get together after the season, because the energy between the pair of them was adorable, and she is still pure, so I connected with her on that. I'm not pure anymore, but I was for most of my adult life. But anyway, now Nicola being dumped, to be honest, I wasn't bothered by that. The energy of Nicola, I don't know. I'm not bothered that it's gone. But yes, Kendall got it. That was a sad one, and he was just so thoughtful and so sweet. So hopefully you see him again. I'm still catching up on the Love Island USA, because I just got the Peacock, so I haven't watched Kendall's Love Island USA season yet, but I do look forward to that, and hopefully we'll see him again. But yeah, that basically covers everyone, and my top person to win right now is Johnny. Hopefully he does it. I'm rooting for you. I've seen you on the challenge. I've watched you. I'm a fan. I support the way you play the game, even though a lot of people don't understand it. And yeah, so I look forward to what you do next week. And yeah, you and Gabby is a great team, and see where it takes you. Thank you for keeping it entertaining. Go Johnny. Okay, so the new season for Golden Bachelor has started. I am making an effort to watch this season. I could not get into the first season because every episode is someone talking about something awful that happened to them, whether it be unaliving or a health problem or divorce or all these things. So that was it made me not want to watch. However, with Bachelor in Paradise, seeing some of them mixed in, it made me kind of think, maybe let's try it this time. So I am making an effort on this season of Golden Bachelor, and to be quite honest, it is the perfect time, because this Golden Bachelor shows that no matter what age, the fella is the same. Now, let's unpack this. First of all, he goes on a podcast saying, I want women between 45 and, 60, like he wants his women young. Okay, and he says he doesn't want any fake hips or fake hair. Okay, he also says that his wife just left. He was surprised. Anyone who knows any woman, a mother, a sister, knows that a woman will not just leave. There was probably 2 to 5 years of signs of her asking him for something, of possibly some counselling that she asked for, or maybe they went to and it just didn't work, or it didn't just happen, or there was maybe some infidelity. And also, they had 2 lads, so in that household she probably had no one to bond with, and that on top of her feeling isolated if he was not meeting her needs, ignoring her, not giving her time and attention, and she felt alone, and she kept asking him if say for example her love language was quality time or gifts, and he was not doing those things for her anymore, and he was just playing with his sons, and he maybe thought he was being a great father, but he was neglecting his wife. She asked him anyway. These are hypothetical things. Things don't just one day happen. There was a build up, and the fact that he says it just happened, and it shows me a lot about his character. He was a professional athlete, which, yes, I am judging and profiling because of the lifestyle. Those are things that are stereotypically true. I'm sorry, there are very few professional athletes that do not fit the stereotype of a professional athlete. Being in that lifestyle, it just brings those things to you, and you have to be very strong or have a reason to say no, and most of them don't have a reason, so it's fun. Why not? However, that did set him up for that to be that type of person, and when you are then in a family environment, it creates conflict, and she probably didn't want it. Now, that being said, he is still showing signs of being that athlete by saying all of those superficial things about the women, and saying, oh, it just he is that same person. So it's going to be interesting to watch this season and see all the red flags of this Golden Bachelor, because how do they pick these men? Like, what are the qualifications? Because he is still, even though he was married and had children, he is still an F-boy. I'm sorry, he's still an F-boy. Even if they get married, even if they have children, you either have the men that are men, gentlemen, relationship worthy, or you have the F-boys that sometimes hide in relationships for a little bit and then come out and then hide again. He is the latter. So it will be interesting to watch this season and see how it evolves because of the decisions he's made already. And I'm pretty sure he's going to pick the hottest, fittest, youngest looking one. And then after he's off the show and has the notoriety, he'll get the real ones. He'll probably even go as low as the 20s. And I'm not shading that because I don't believe in age. I mean, age is a societal programming that makes us shame each other to behave a certain way, produce at a certain rate, and accept health problems as age. That's society. When you accept that, it becomes part of your programming. That's not part of my programming. He can go for whatever maturity level he wants to. That is on him. That consenting adults, I have no problem with that. Now, making them feel bad and making them feel shame and going on a show where you know that is where we're focused on those golden ages. I mean, it's almost as bad as being DL, to be honest. You're pretending to like these women so that later you can have the ones that you really want, you know? So let's see where this season of The Golden Bachelor takes us. But so far, I wouldn't say he's the best specimen, but he's attractive and he's entertaining. So let's see how many more red flags we can discover, and know that you deserve someone that is okay with who you are, because you're exactly who you are, what you need to be, how you need to be. And the person at your wavelength will understand that, love you, and appreciate it. Do not accept someone who shames you and make you feel bad for who you are, because you are perfect, no matter what phase or what level of life you are at. Every phase has a purpose for us, to teach us something, to bring something in. So celebrate them all, and never let anyone make you feel bad for it. So yes, let's see where the Golden... But I'm sure there will be some very funny moments, so let's chat about them. So let's go Golden Bachelor. Dancing with the Stars has also started a new season, and based on the fact that partnership and commitment and all of these things that go into a relationship are very important on this reality competition show, I thought I'd do a little bit of a focus on it. And it's interesting, you can actually see the commitment and the work and the focus based on how they are in the dance. And like, for example, Robert, the one who is the son of the crocodile hunter, Owen, anyway, he's with Whitney. He is my favourite by far. His very first dance was ridiculous. When he jumps up, he's like an action figure. He is amazing. He said he had no dance experience, and his body is flawless. His movements, he has, you can tell that he has perfect control. He has communication with all of his body parts. He has perfect isolations. He puts in the work. He has commitment to Whitney. He has the most beautiful one as well. They look amazing together. He just, the energy, the dedication, the commitment, the work, and because his sister was on there and won, of course he knows that he has to do something well. But the thing is, he's my favourite, and you can tell that he put in the work, and you can tell that that is how he would be in a relationship. Now, then we have the Corey Feldman, who he just expected. It's like the fellas that are beautiful, they just expect, just because they show up and they look like that, that's enough. And yeah, he got kicked off first. And the thing is, he didn't put any energy, he didn't put any effort, and there were rumours that he showed up for 2 days out of the week for rehearsal, so he didn't even really know the dance. So you can tell by how someone is with things like dancing and rehearsals and things like that, how they would be, how they would show up, how they would put in that effort. Now, you also have to put in the factor of, is it something that they want? Is it something that they actually desire? Because that has a big factor. So it will be interesting to see who rises, who falls, because a lot of it has to do with their commitment to their partner, their commitment to the show, their commitment to themselves, and how they are willing to put themselves through that pain and suffering for a goal to achieve. So yeah, let's see where this goes. But for right now, Robert is my top favourite. The dedication, the commitment, the energy, everything, he's got it. Yes. And we'll focus on some of the red flags as the season evolves, because right now the red flags are gone. The ones who were showing the red flags are gone. So yes, it is so beautiful, so entertaining. Hopefully you are getting to watch it. Dancing with the Stars is amazing. Okay, so Survivor 49 has begun a new season, and I'm sure everyone knows the premise of Survivor: win money, competitions, tribes, live on an island, starve, compete, money, vote each other out of tribal. Yes. Now, this season of Survivor has an amazing, eclectic version of characters that it's just like... But the thing is interesting is that everyone wants to be the first of something. They want to coin out and make, I'm the first Albanian, I'm the first. And it's amazing how detailed they'll get in there, I'm the first of this. And it's so interesting to me because everyone wants to stand out and be the first of something. And that's always seemed weird to me because I've never really fit in, and all I've wanted to do is fit in. So when people want to stand out, it's interesting. Not saying it's a bad thing. I've grown into it. But it's a lot of pressure. But anyway, Riz Scott is on my radar to be one of my favorites. I really like his energy, how his story is evolving. He wants to be the first Albanian, and how he doesn't really believe in himself, but he's proving the more. And it shows you, the thing I love about Survivor is because it shows you how to prove to yourself how great you are. And in life, the promises you make to yourself are the most important. The things that you prove to yourself, the reliability, the loyalty, the love, the trust that you have in yourself, those are the things that you want to focus on. And Survivor makes them do that. And I love that. And you watch them grow, you watch them evolve, you watch them, the pressure turn them from a coal into a diamond. And that is the beauty of Survivor, and that's why I love Survivor. And that is why we are focusing on Survivor, because we are watching the evolution, we are watching the interplay, the red flags. Also the whole Jake and the whole romance. You know what's really going on there. I'm sorry, I know you have a family, but you can see it in the edits, how his walk changes. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry, I notice these things, I see these things, and I know on Survivor they do things in the woods and that are off camera, and you're having a great time there because your family is home, and okay, that's not what this is about. But the thing is, yeah, Jake is the bromance thing. I mean, I can see it. No shade. Okay, sorry family if you ever see this, which no one's watching these now, but by the time it's relevant. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Jake is having fun. It's like camp for him. He's doing things that he's not allowed to, although he is a corrections officer, so he may be doing those things at home as well. We know about corrections officers. I'm sorry, there are things that are done in prisons, and we know this, and that's all I'm going to say. I didn't make this a fact. It just is. And yeah, the signs are there, Jake. Sorry, but yeah, you're doing great. But anyway, Riz God, he is my number one. Jake is funny, he's interesting. It'll be good to watch him in his show bromance, whatever he wants to call it. And it's interesting that they said 2 straight fellas. They think both of them are straight. Yes, he has a family, but is everyone blind? I I don't know. It's when you see things and other people can't, it's hard to gauge why or what. I don't know. Anyway, to me, it's very clear. It's very obvious. You can see the changes in their walks. You can see the changes in their energy. You can see the energy together. You can see there's a lot you can see. You can see how they look at each other, the energy when that is exchanged in their looks, how their energy, when their body language leads into each other. There's so many things. But yes, I am used to looking at these things. I'm used to reading these things. So possibly it's just innate for me. That is why my radar is so strong. My DM radar is so strong. Sorry, Jake's family. But anyway, hopefully the children are out by the time you realise, or he keeps up the life, or maybe you have an understanding, I don't know. But the pair of them are not straight. That's all I'm going to say. Fluid, bi, whatever, but not straight. Anyway, I wouldn't say they hate women, so I wouldn't say necessarily that they are DL, depending on if their women are privy to the information. That would be the whole whether or not they are. But anyway, we're talking too much about the DL thing. But on Survivor, that stuff happens. And yeah, that's more than a romance. Anyway, so Riz God is my favourite. I do like Sophie, the Spitfire one with, I think, without the E. She's a good one to look out for. Stephen is funny with the hearing aids. He's just he's talking about how he wasn't sure if he had heard his flatulence or something. Like, he's funny. Yeah, they have a good cast this season, so it will be very interesting to watch their evolution and see who buds and who breaks, and the interplay social game, because it's so interesting how people on the show say they act so out of character from who they are in real life in their social game, but they always mirror what society is doing at the moment. So yeah, great cast so far, Survivor, and look forward to breaking down next week. Cheers. Amazing Race has also started a new season, and it's even more attractive to me because they are Big Brother contestants with their family members. And an interesting thing is that Taylor and Kyland are dating, and part of me is like, is that real, or is that just because they would make amazing contestants to win this? So, because I have seen them also on the challenge, they do crossbreed on these reality shows. I have to watch a little bit closer to see the energy between the pair of them, because a part of me is not 100% buying that relationship, but we'll see what happens. Now, it's also cute that Tucker and Rubina are on there, but they're on different teams. That's cute because they are actually together, whereas the ones who are actually not together might be on the team together. But anyway, it will be interesting to see how that works. Right now, it's the first episode, so they haven't really shown too many red flags or had much conflicts. They are actually adorable family members, and I love that I know them already and how they work together. It makes me like to watch it even more. But so far everyone is like working very well together, and yeah, so we'll see where Amazing Race takes us next week. Yeah. Big Brother has a winner. Now, let's start back from the Keanu voodoo demise. And like I said about how Big Brother kind of emulates what's going on in society, it did turn into a matriarchal women get out the men, till there was one, which was Vince, who is the perfect specimen. Not overly fit, not under, just right in attractiveness, average, not too much, charming, ladies fella, and useful. He was perfect. He's perfect specimen for the matriarch. And it was fitting that the two, unfortunately it wasn't Rachel, but the two strong women were there at the end. Now, somebody please tell Ava that it's c'est la vie, not c'est la vie. Like, somebody teach her how to speak. It's so frustrating every time she would say that. Like, if you're going to speak a foreign language, make sure you're saying it right if you're going to say it on national television. Sorry, that's all I've got to say. Anyway, I'm bitter with her because I blame her for getting Rachel out, and I think it would have been amazing, and I thought Rachel would have been the house guest favourite, and maybe it's just because I love her so much, but yeah, Rachel Riley is just everything for me. She's just so many green flags, but in a package that you would think would be a red flag, but she's not, and that's exciting for me. Anyway, it's a specimen. Now, Ashley was like Superman and Clark Kent. She just turned it on, and she won when she needed to. She played an excellent social game. Her final speech, the way she articulated, the way she switched was amazing. Like, you could see the difference of how she played ditzy to then when she turned into herself. It was amazing. Her arguments were so solid. She flawless. Ashley won me over because, to be honest, she wasn't my top. She had never been my top. That sounds weird. She had never been my top choice until the final arguments and until I saw her dominate that finale. It made sense. And I'm so glad that it was her on a matriarchal season, because she represents so much. And the melanated winners of Big Brother are increasing, and that's just beautiful to me. I mean, it's women and melanated women. Obviously, I'm going to cheer for that. So go Ashley. And yeah, the thing with Morgan and Vince, that's an interesting thing. I would be interested to see if that evolves into something after the Big Brother house, and if he still has a girlfriend when he goes home. So that I will be looking up on. I don't know if I will do anything to cover that. That's just something from my own personal knowledge. But it was a fantastic season of Big Brother, and I love how it truly mirrors what the current mentality of society is, and how it evolves in the game. And I know that they say that even on unscripted shows they kind of prompt it to go a certain way, and I don't know if that is what is happening, but the reason why I love Big Brother is because it's always so spot on with how society is feeling and thinking and thriving. And that is also why I'm very glad that the melanated winners and the women are starting to raise to the top. That makes me very happy. That makes me feel some type of way. So Big Brother, thank you. I've been an avid watcher on many continents and for years, and you never disappoint. So, or maybe the very first season, that one was a bit odd. Like, I went back on Prime and I don't know what you were doing there. It was okay. It did take me some time to watch it, but anyway, love what you're doing now. Every season is fresh, new things. 3 nominees. That are you going to keep that up? That's a lot. But anyway, love what you're doing. You're amazing. And if you look at your records, I did try out. But anyway, I did interview, but I didn't get through. You had girls with accents on before. So anyway, love you. Keep doing the great work, and I will continue to watch. Thank you. This week's movie recommendation is The Black Bag with Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. Now, it's basically like a serious version of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. 2 spies, married, living lives together, and then their opposing sides try to get them to go after each other. It is, and then you kind of have to decide marriage or country, or agency, or whatever you want. So it is action-packed. It's not exactly steamy like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is why I say it's a little bit more serious version, but it is exciting. It does have some love element. It kind of has some adult moments, but not, like I said, steamy. It's not really like a steamy, but it is a good film, action-packed, good plot, fun. Check it out. It's a good date night, good to watch by yourself. No crimson fluid, even though there is some violence. But yeah, it's a great actors, great story. Even Pierce Brosnan's in there. Yeah, check it out. I believe it's only on Prime at the moment. But yeah, it's called The Black Bag.
Trump supporters GTFO, working class, give it up for Varolga Leilani.
I've had to start checking IDs. It's crazy.
Yes.
The lads are looking older. I'm getting bolder. And now have generational wealth. They're using my own tactics against me.
No way.
And with technology, it's harder to tell if someone is an adult.
Oh, wow.
They're gentlemen. They sit in a car, they're polite,
Yes.
pull out chairs, open doors. They're patient.
Yes.
They don't force physical contact too soon. Emotionally intelligent. They even pay for things. But they get dinner, tickets to festivals and concerts, award shows.
Oh my God.
They have private jets.
Yes.
I never considered that you can sort all of that with someone else's credit card and some apps.
No way.
It's not until we're trying to get into a rated R movie. Okay, well, wait. He was 6'4" with face hair. Don't judge me. It then made sense why he never wanted to go to the club.
No way!
He just said he was an introvert.
Oh my god!
When does face hair start anyway? I'm not a parent, I don't know these things.
No way!
And check out the latest from Aglorev Entertainment for all of your level up needs.